What is good, peeps? Welcome back to more CS News. As per usual, one last video here from the office. The flight to Germany's in a few hours. So again, any of you German locals out there, anyone going to Gamescom, you let me know. But right before the flight, I wanted to make a quick little news episode because there's been plenty of news going around as we follow Blast Bounty. Plenty of drama, plenty of controversy in the sense of who's the #1 team in the world. And Donk was asked just that question because Spirit have won the last two events. They take IEM Cologne in a sweep over Mouse. They take Blast Bounty in a sweep over Mongols by a lot of eyes right now. Currently, you could argue they are the #1 team in the world. But when Donk was asked this, even he knows, no, we've really just beat the teams that beat Vitality for us. Until we face Vitality, until we beat Vitality, they might just be the #1 team.
Do you feel now that you are starting to become that #1 team in the world?
Not really. We weren't facing Vitality, and we need to beat them, I think, to become the best player, the best team in the world. And yeah, that's it. Vitality has some issues, but they can fix and still become best team in the world because they have everything for it.
Yeah,
and it's that kind of mentality that you got to respect. It makes me think of the Mongols, right? Once they finally beat Vitality and they ended that streak as well, they knew it wasn't good enough. You have to actually win events. Even when you beat Vitality, you got to win the event, which you saw them fall short on. And so second place is not what they're there for. They're not there to beat Vitality. They're there to beat everybody. And just like Donk said, you have two clear-cut #1 teams right now in Vitality and Spirit, but they have yet to face each other ever since Vitality has had these so-called struggles these last couple of events, right? A couple of semifinals after a 7-win streak on LAN with some major titles and a major. I mean, yes, it's hard not to look at all the curse talk going around. People are talking about Aphie, the former player rep and manager who was with Vitality. Now she's gone. They haven't won since then. Player talk about the Stake jersey, the new sponsor. They have not won since that. People talk about the Apex bald curse. Ever since he shaved that beautiful head, they have not won since then. Aside from those curses, though, it was actually Ropz talking about this, calling their matches at Blast Bounty a red flag. I do want to clarify. This was also Professor from HLTV talked about this. It was kind of a baited response, but guys, we need headlines over here, so I don't think it's near as drastic as the headline says, and he elaborates more on this, but he did call their Blast Bounty matches a red flag for Vitality. It was a bit of a baited answer out of him, but it still doesn't spell well. It wasn't a great event for Vitality. You can't take that away.
There's, a little bit of a red flag starting to wave, or some alarm bells starting to ring, or not yet?
Depends how to look at it. I mean, the games here are definitely a red flag. We are not playing like we used to, I think. With the as you mentioned, the Liquid game, it was close. We were ahead in both maps against Liquid, and we could have closed it smooth, but just key rounds, not reacting properly, not reacting fast enough, just doing some bad decisions. I think a bunch of things that are going wrong, and it's life sometimes. I mean, we work on it, but right now it's definitely something to look at. We have to go back and review this game, as we definitely took a look on the Liquid game, and we had a good talk on what went wrong in that game, even though we won. Still happy with the win in that case, but stuff still to improve as well. Yeah.
Even when I was hearing Ropz talk, and eventually they talk about the ultimate, the crouch from Blitz. I mean, when I watch this clip back, guys, I've watched it back like a dozen times. It is actually insane. The CS timing on this clip, the divine intervention is what Launders had called it. It's insane. And what changed the series, right? That very well could have turned the entire series around. I don't really know what to take from that.
ZywOo, will he figure this out?
Smoke 2 flashes,
Surely
doesn't have a kit. He's got to play this one fast. Blitz has got that AK. If ZywOo is meant to be the difference maker, then this is the moment. Apex has recovered. Can ZywOo get 12? Oh, yeah! Blitz clutch! You give him a chance, and he'll snare you.
I think you just lightly meant it's a red flag. It's obviously not a good sign when we're losing to teams that we were once beating, 9 times in a row. You lose to a Mouse who you had beaten, 8 times, some streak against them as well. So clearly it's not a green flag. How else are you going to answer that question? But it's nice to see Ropz being honest. They got to go back to the drawing board. And EWC is an unforgiving format. People forget that. EWC is a dang near single elimination tournament for a lot of their esports, and so it's a very short format. It's a very short tournament. CS is, I think, one of the longer ones, but it's still not easy to get through. There are a lot of teams that can win EWC, and if Vitality is not one of them, how does that continue to hurt their mental going forward? Or do we get to see a Vitality versus Spirit? I don't know. I'm just very excited. I will be in Germany as EWC is going on, so covering it is going to be tricky and fun, and I'm going to make it work for all of you guys because I'm going to be watching those matches pretty closely. Who is favored right now to win EWC? I think it's hard to pick against a team like Spirit. I think the format, though, really allows for some leniency here, and I want to see Falcons show up finally. And that is kind of like their home tourney. So a lot's on the line. And if you guys are actually following EWC, the club championship portion of this, it is Team Vitality, Team Liquid, and Team Falcons in a little three-way jaunt for first place. Falcons is still favored to win the entire thing. Team Liquid has a chance, but with their CS roster being the way it is, unless they win the CS portion, it's probably going Falcons' way. But Falcons CS might not do that well, and then if Vitality win it, yeah. So it's a big old race over there for EWC. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Listening back to what I just said and ramble for 3 minutes straight, I understand the yapping comments, but it's tough when you talk about things and then you think about things, and then I feel the need to share said information with all of you and share my thoughts. That's my bad. But another crazy story out there, unless you guys were on the timeline for a couple of hours, you might have missed this one. Tyloo was hacked yesterday, and nobody knew this. It was maybe suspected something was going down. I didn't know if it was that or like a social media manager hit that green and he was just like trying to make some jokes for the day because it was multiple tweets. The first one took everyone back as they announced Donk. Yes, Tyloo announced Donk, the $5 million legendary transfer in the future of Asian CS. That's not happening, and people were mightily confused because everyone knew it wasn't legit, but what was the angle here, right? I just thought maybe it was a joke in poor taste that they thought was going to be funny, that you can't really tweet off main accounts, right? Not too many teams can get away with that. They later announced the benching of G, and that's when I was like, okay, something's definitely going down over in Tyloo camp, because that's not even a joke you want to make around this team. They later confirmed they were indeed hacked. I think they were initially hacked during the off hours over in China, so nobody was even awake to know they had been hacked, and so they have now taken extra precaution to have some extra security on their account. That is great. But it made some great memes for the day, some great little jokes. So Tyloo will not be signing Donk for $5 million. And a part of me, a weird twisted part of me, wouldn't have minded seeing that. That would be the weirdest arrangement of players of all time and regions. But it's not going to happen. And very lastly, for all of you guys just diving back, and you guys found this one too, the little P controversy, not a P controversy, but the little P moment that happened versus Team Liquid and Vitality. And the reason Team Liquid maybe it fell here, I don't know if they could have got some punishment out of this, attack timeout, player just leaving the setup to go pee. Maybe they could have, man. Maybe Team Liquid, if you weren't so friendly, this was the difference maker in your back-to-back overtime games versus Vitality. You fall 0-2, but it was so much closer than that. And someone was apparently close to losing it all. I don't know. I think it was maybe ZywOo. I can't exactly tell, as Team Vitality was trying to call a pause because apparently somebody had to go to the bathroom. And then we got Twist jumping on the whole wager part of everything. So that is the Vitality versus Team Liquid little P moment that happened. Yes, even counterstrike players have to go empty the tank every now and again. But until next time, thank you all for watching, guys. I am off to Cologne, Germany. Hope you all enjoyed one last video from the office. The next few will be from a hotel room in Germantown, as I have some good German recommended food. Till next time, take care of yourselves, all right? See you soon. Bye-bye.